Kronos, and he married another Titan, that was Rhea. And they started having babies also. And these babies were the 12 gods, as we know them from our mythology. But the story goes on and says that Kronos was a very mean Titan, and he was afraid that his own children, the gods, would take his throne away. So when his children were babies, he started swallowing them without chewing though, so it didn't hurt. And then the story goes on and says that the last baby that was born was Zeus. And his mother felt sorry for him, plus he was her last one, so she wanted to save him. And instead of giving the baby Zeus to her husband, covered blanket, she gave him a stone. And Kronos, swallowed the stone without knowing it because he wasn't chewing anyway. So that's how Zeus managed to grow up. And when he grew up, he went back to his dad and he gave his dad a special medicine, and all the sisters and brothers started jumping out of the stomach of Kronos as grown-ups because he wasn't chewing. And we have a first fight, gods against the Titans. Gods win. But the Titans go and get their sisters and brothers that were even the scariest creatures, the giants. And we have a second fight, gods against the giants. Gods win again, and that's how they dominated our world. That's a really short version because a lot of things happen in between. Creatures were born, creatures died. But anyway, that's the way they had to express the good, the gods, winning against the evil, the giants and the Titans, okay? And now that I gave you the story, you can tell who the gods are, the ones that are standing up and fighting, and then the ones that are down in pain, if you have a good look, are clearly the giants. And then there's a connection to the local sanctuary, of course, because we see Apollo over here. How do we know that a bit longer curly hair comes back? Yeah? And he's represented next to his twin sister Artemis, Diana. So if you remember the Apollo phase that we saw yesterday, they always look alike. So when they're represented almost parallel, it's the twins, Apollo and Diana. Now again, there's a myth that talks about the twins. Their father was Zeus, but the mother was not Hera. The mother was immortal again, Leto. And the story says that when their mother was about to give birth to the twins, Hera found out again. So she started chasing Leto to kill her, but Leto manages to escape, and she finds a shelter on the island of Delos. Now where's Delos? Delos is like an island 30 minutes sailing from Mykonos. And it's an island only covered by ruins. There's not even a coffee shop up there. And it's practically the biggest sanctuary and archaeological site today in Greece. So this would be the birth spot of Apollo. That's what the ancient Greeks believed, and they created like a huge sanctuary up there. Now for the ones that have been to the Cyclades, or most of you are getting there right after this, the very first thing that you experience is a very bright light. Everything is like super white. The light is too strong. Now when it's not clouded, same thing happens outside in Delphi. You have like a very bright white light compared to the yellowish light that we had yesterday in Olympia. So the ancient Greeks believed that that super bright light was always a gift from Apollo, god of the sun. So they used to worship him on spots where he had that very bright light. So that's one extra reason why they created a sanctuary on this slope and not one around the corner. Now, we know today it's not Apollo, it's actually the Aegean Sea that reflects like a huge mirror of sunlight on these islands. And also on the slopes outside, it's the Corinthian Gulf. And that creates that very bright light. But again, the ancient Greeks believed that it was a gift from Apollo. Okay? So, twins, Apollo and Artemis, or Diana in Latin, goddess of hunting.